whoa. I was just thinking about whether I'd put the dishwasher on, and now that's led to this school teacher that screamed at me when I was like 4. And meditation can actually change the brain's structure. I feel like my mind is so clear. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Yolanda Melody. Today's video is going to be about meditation and why it is so vital in this day and age. I really want this video to be beginner friendly, so if you are completely new to meditation, if you've got no idea where to start, I want this to be the video that answers all of those questions. And for anyone who is experienced with meditation, keep watching because I'm going to be dropping a lot of tips. I've experimented with all different types of techniques and there is not one size fits all, and I'm also going to be sprinkling a little bit of scientific knowledge as well when it comes to meditation. As most people should know, the benefits that meditation does for the brain is measurable. It's not woo-woo, it's not just something that people do to look like they're enlightened. It is something that I believe really should have been taught in school, but then again there's a lot of things that we don't get taught in school that are actually really important. I digress. Before I get into the tips, let me ask you this. Do you suffer from stress and anxiety? Do you feel like your attention just gets pulled from pillar to post all the time? Maybe you sometimes struggle with self-discipline or have difficulty focusing on certain tasks for a long length of time. Do you ever struggle to get to sleep at night because your mind is racing with all different thoughts, memories from the past, negative self-talk? Maybe you don't just get these thoughts at nighttime, but maybe you hear them all day long. If you answered yes to any of those questions, then this video is for you. Every single one of these issues and more can be solved with meditation. And I do not believe that to be an exaggeration at all. If anything, it's an understatement. So if meditation is so amazing, then why doesn't everyone do it? If it solves all of these issues, why isn't everybody doing this? And my answer to that is it's the same reason why everybody doesn't exercise. Only a certain amount of people exercise because it takes discipline and practice. And not a lot of people want to do that nowadays. Especially when we live in a society where everything is quick gratification. Need validation? Post a picture on Instagram. Get a load of likes. Get a load of comments saying how beautiful you are. Want to put your favourite song on? Ask Alexa. Nowadays everything is so quick moving and instantly gratifying. All you have to do is ask your device to do something for you and it is done. And as convenient as it is, and as gratifying as it is, it trains our brain to stop being patient. It unravels patience. I mean, people's attention span is that bad nowadays that a lot of people can't even watch long form content anymore. And don't even get me started on how bad TikTok and Reels are for the brain. That is for another video. If you want to start a meditation practice and you want it to run smoothly, I would highly recommend to avoid Reels and TikTok as much as possible, because I would probably say that that is the antithesis of meditation. Getting stuck in a content loop frazzles your brain with so much dopamine that you don't even know what to do with it. But anyway, this isn't about TikTok, this is about meditation, so... Okay, right. I promised that I would get into some science, so let's start with that. So, meditation has been proven to strengthen the areas of the brain responsible for memory, learning, attention, and self-awareness. It can also decrease emotional reactivity, anxiety, depression, and stress, and many more things. Just looking on Google, it actually says that meditation can change your brain for the better in as little as 11 hours. And I fully believe that because I've seen it for myself whenever I've been practicing meditation on a daily basis. So mindfulness meditation has actually been proven to increase the thickness in the prefrontal cortex and the parietal lobes, which are both linked to your attention control, your ability to focus on things and get tasks done and be disciplined within the mind. Compassion-based meditation can increase the limbic system, which processes emotions, and the anterior insula, which helps bring emotions into conscious awareness. So that's my proof. Like I said earlier, it's not just woo-woo. In addition to this, meditation can actually change the brain's structure. Research has shown that there are actually measurable effects on 3 different parts of the brain. One being your grey matter, which is involved in muscle control and sensory perception, including emotions, memory, speech, seeing, hearing, and decision making. So your grey matter is very important. So the reason why I talk about the science and why I'm bigging it up so much is because meditation takes discipline, especially at the beginning. So by me bigging it up and showing you actual tangible evidence that this is going to change your brain, it's kind of like fitness motivation. Nobody would go to the gym if they didn't know how amazing their body would look for going to the gym. People want to know. People want to know that this is actually going to do something. One phrase that I hear from a lot of people is, I can't meditate. That statement does not make sense. Everyone has the ability to meditate. No matter how much ADHD you think that you have, no matter if you've got the worst attention span ever, if you want to train your brain to do a certain thing, you have the power. When people say, I can't meditate, what they're actually saying is, I am not consciously choosing to meditate right now. And also, don't be so hard on yourself. The way that society is designed is to put you in a state that is the polar opposite of meditation. It's not actually your fault, but at the same time, you have the ability to unravel all of that, for want of a better phrase, negative mind training. If you go anywhere, if you go into a shopping centre, there is so many things going on all at once. There's music going on, there's people talking, there's adverts, there's loads and loads of things that are trying to get your attention. And when society is designed that way, it is very difficult to have peace of mind, because nothing seems peaceful. That's why we have to consciously choose to take that time out, to switch off from all of that noise and to re-center. If you don't, you will be out of alignment. And when I say out of alignment, I mean your energy centers are just gonna be like flitting all over the place. You're gonna feel dis-ease. Dis-ease. Interesting. In addition to that, thinking is an addiction. Our brain loves to think. Loves it. You know why? Because we're so used to being satiated with information. Believe it or not, in this day and age, one of the most difficult things that you can do is to sit in a room and think nothing. And do nothing. It's so bizarre. The reason why I'm doing this video is because I used to meditate, but my life just got too chaotic at one period of time. I stopped my meditation practice, and it's only been recently that I started meditating again on a daily basis. And I am not kidding you, I feel like my mind is so clear. My focus, my attention is so much better. I'm able to catch negative thoughts before they spiral into the abyss. And believe me, I struggled I have struggled all my life with negative spirals. I'm a very emotional person, but I just feel really different. Like the past few weeks, it really has reminded me of why I used to do this. You know, I've always been spiritual. I've always been looking for answers and knowledge. And of course, knowledge is power. And learning about spirituality will advance you. And there's a lot of spiritual people that don't have a daily meditation practice. Some people feel that they just don't need to. However, it is without a doubt that if you're seeking out spiritual knowledge, if you team that with a meditation practice, you will be able to take in so much more. Because it leaves a gap in your brain for you to pay more attention to the finer details and to notice signs when they are being sent to you. If your attention span isn't that good, you won't be taking in much knowledge. You might think that you're learning, but the information might not actually be sinking in properly. Anyway, right, okay. So, what are my meditation tips? Okay, so firstly, when I decided that I wanted to start meditating was actually when my stress levels were getting really difficult to deal with, and my attention span obviously was very short. I don't really like the idea of crossing my legs and sitting like this. For me, it's an uncomfortable position. I don't know what that says about my flexibility. Actually, no, I do class myself as very flexible, but I knew that I would be much better doing my meditation if I'm in a comfortable position, which for me is lying down. On the floor. But I don't just lie down on the floor. I use this thing called my spiky mat. I lie on a mat that has lots and lots of spikes on it. I call it my spiky mat. It's actually an acupressure mat. I'll put the link down below for the one that I use. But this spiky mat does so much. I mean, I could do a whole video about the spiky mat alone, but I want to wait until I'm sponsored by these people. But I'm not kidding you. If you are a little bit of a sadist, you know, if you like a little bit of pain, like I do, this spiky mat really pulls me back into alignment. It pulls me out of my head, into my body. Because of the semi-painful sensation that's going on my back, it's able to pull me out of a negative thought loop. But also on a practical level, it's actually bringing all of the blood to the surface with my back, and it has the same benefits as acupressure or acupuncture. So that's one thing that has really helped me get back into my meditation practice. I will lie on the spiky mat and meditate, and even just 10 minutes does a world of good for me. It makes me feel so calm and so peaceful. Simply put, the whole basis of meditation is to clear the mind of thoughts. However, this gets people into a loop of beating themselves up because they're having thoughts and they think that they're just supposed to completely eliminate all thinking. And that's not exactly the case. The goal really is to not get attached to the thoughts. Your mind is always going to crop up with things, you know? Things are going to pop up in your head, and most of the time it's like the white rabbit. You get a thought, you follow it, and then next thing you know, you're down the rabbit hole, you know? And you just stop and you think to yourself, whoa, I was just thinking about whether I'd put the dishwasher on. And now that's led to this school teacher that screamed at me when I was like 4. And now I'm imagining like what I'll do if I die. It's how the mind works. It just hops from one thing to another, to another, to another. And a lot of us have so much negativity in our subconscious that we don't even know about, but that is having an effect on your entire being. And the goal with meditation is to actually be able to observe the thoughts and not to recognize them as yours, because thoughts are not you. You are not your thoughts. And second is to be able to recognize them before they escalate. And when you start to do that, your mind starts to quieten down. If you're not entertaining the thoughts all the time, then they're gonna crop up a lot less. And when you get to that state where your mind is so clear, you just become so much more efficient. But the real seller for me is that it makes you happy. I have always been feeling like I've been in a war with my own mind for so many years. Mental pain is so much worse to me than any type of physical pain. And one of the things that has really, really helped me is meditation. Anyway, sorry, going on a tangent there. Guided meditations. So I feel like sometimes guided meditations defeat the object. And the reason why I say that is you're listening to someone talk. Guided meditations are brilliant if you are a beginner. It's better than not meditating at all. It also depends what guided meditation you're listening to. There's a lot that I just don't like them, and from all the people that I've spoken to, everyone is quite particular about what guided meditation they listen to. If they don't resonate with it, it's just not going to work. Sometimes the music's a bit off, sometimes you get a bit of a dodgy vibe from it. But yeah, if you just type in guided meditation on YouTube or even Spotify and you find one that you like, that will do wonders for you. And then eventually you can work your way up to not relying on the guided meditations and maybe moving on to calming music, and then eventually moving on to complete silence. A few things to search on YouTube that'd be good: binaural beats, pineal gland activation. One technique that I have used for quite a few years is what I like to call the monkey mind technique. The reason why I call it the monkey mind is because that is what the mind does. It's like a monkey, it just hops from one branch to another. I usually do this technique before I go to sleep if my mind is racing, and I tell you what, it literally stops the mind from spiraling in its tracks. So the technique is, say for example, if you start thinking about a conversation that you had with a friend earlier on, before that thought carries on, stop it and put it in a category. For example, you'd be thinking the thought and then quickly you just categorize it and you say friends. Next thing, your mind could start thinking about something that happened in the past. Just say in your mind past. Because you're not attaching to any of the thoughts, new ones will keep cropping up. But eventually, they'll start to quiet down. And whenever I do this technique, I usually get to sleep incredibly quick because my mind is not being entertained. I'm not allowing the monkey to play on the branches. The monkey's got to sit down. Sit down. We're going to sleep. Or we're going to meditate. We just don't want to think right now, okay? Don't get too caught up in the categories. I just quickly think of any random category, as if my mind is a computer desktop and I've got loads of files in front of it and I'm just quickly trying to categorize everything into a folder. There is no one size fits all when it comes to meditation techniques, but this one has always stuck with me. Okay, so another technique is something that I think they do in the army. This is another one that is brilliant for getting to sleep. Like if you have trouble sleeping, try tensing every single muscle in your body one at a time. You can do this for about 5 seconds per muscle group. So for example, you start off tensing your feet, then you move over to your calf muscles, your hamstrings, your glutes, and work all the way up the body until you get to your head. You can actually tense your head. I don't know if everybody does this, but I do. By tensing every single muscle, it's causing each one of them to relax. It's getting all that tension out. If you're uncomfortable, of course, you're going to want to think more to distract yourself from how your body feels. So one of the most important things is to make sure that your body is comfortable. And I know I was talking about the spiky mat earlier. For me, I get a weirdly great sensation from lots of needles going in my back. So, well, they're not needles, they're like little spikes. They don't actually cause any kind of puncture in the skin, just so that you know. And finally, if you meditate for the first time and you find that the whole time you were thinking lots and lots of thoughts, it's not the end of the world. Just the simple act of trying to meditate and consciously making a decision to try and focus, that is great, and you should give yourself a pat on the back for that. Practice makes perfect, and with meditation, same as everything, you need to practice to get better and better. If you tried to meditate one day and it didn't go well, you can always try again. But trying is better than not doing it at all. I hope that this video has inspired you to start meditating, or at least maybe you found this video entertaining. I don't know. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Love you, bye!